So 5 years on since our last video that we did with you, so I thought it would just be really good to catch up because I know that you've been with us for a period of time, you've moved around different departments. So yeah, what team are you now heading up?
So I'm now looking after the Opticians finance team.
Okay.
So I came into the FD role in around about June, so that's sort of 9 months in. And it was quite a journey actually coming into that role over the last 5 years. So my total time at Boots is now 10 years, which sounds like a lot of time, but what I've done in that time is moved around quite a lot, and that's always been one of the brilliant things about Boots for me, that you can take advantage of all those opportunities.
Yeah.
So in the last 5 years, I've actually moved, as you said, outside of finance and done roles in a couple of other teams, so change and transformation, and also in the commercial team. And it's brilliant to have had that opportunity actually, and that really only would have worked for me at Boots, I think, so knowing the organisation and having that network, and it's been really valuable in helping me with the job I'm doing now.
Great. So it's keeping it fresh, isn't it? That's
It
great.
is. It's breadth of experience. It's learning new things and sort of figuring out your career as you go, I think, as well. And that's one of the things I would encourage other people to do, is think a bit more broadly beyond your role and your function, and where might you want to get more experience.
Got you.
I think there are definitely a lot of positive things that have come out of those ways of working, not the pandemic itself, if that makes sense. And one of the things for me is that it's sort of accelerated that move to true flexibility. Flexible working, I guess, is something that I've always championed, but this has sort of forced us forward quite a way. So I think allowing people to be truly measured on outputs and KPIs rather than the time they spend at their desk or in the office is something that we should all embrace. And for some people that will mean being in the office at a desk is their most productive place to be. For some people, and most people, that's probably a blend of time. And it allows people to manage their home lives more effectively as well. You know, I know people who spend more time with their kids, for example, as a result. They can do drop-off, and that makes people more productive rather than less when you're able to properly balance your time.
What would your advice be as a working mum? Because obviously you've got children. The flexibility, is that something, you know, Boots do offer truly around the business?
I've managed to grow my career while spending most of it working part-time. So I only actually went full-time during the pandemic when my youngest started school. Before that, I'd done a combination of 4 days or a 9-day fortnight, and that had always worked really well for me. So definitely that's something Boots will accommodate. And I think that the advice I would give to people is never feel guilty about the flexibility that you need.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
So if you show up and you do a good job, and you know, you're delivering on what you need to do for your role, the business should and will accommodate that. And flexibility is a two-way street. You know, you will kind of get back what you give to an organisation, and as long as you've got open communication with your line manager, the team you're in, the people around you, then people absolutely should say, well, there are these things I can do. You know, I can accommodate meetings between these times, but I can't between these times.
Yeah.
And that's just about respecting people's personal lives and their commitments. And that's not just a working mum thing, that's an everybody thing. There'll be commitments beyond childcare and pick up and drop off that you know, people should feel comfortable about, and you know, be bold with that, and role model it, because then other people will believe that that's something that they can do too. I think the other piece of advice I would give to women in particular is about self-belief, and it's something that often women, and this is a really broad generalisation, but are much less confident about is you know, believing you can do the role. And for me, there have definitely been occasions when it's taken somebody else to kind of instill that confidence that I could do a job. And looking back, I think you know, having and building and finding the ways to give yourself that self-belief is really important, because you know, nobody else is going to care more about your career than you do. And you need to kind of think, you know, it's that mantra or whatever the kind of cliched way of putting this is, but you know, you can do it, and anybody can do it.
That's great advice.